Once again, welcome back to Crypto Tutorial. On today's video, I would like to talk about Litecoin, how it will be performing in the upcoming days, and also I would like to thank you once again for watching my previous videos and even liking this video. So if you enjoy the content, do not forget to like this video as well. So let's get started. What we are seeing over here is the Litecoin compared to the US dollar chart on the 4-hourly time frame. And what I wanted to show you is that we have seen a major drop towards the downside getting created on Litecoin. And right now we saw a small V-shaped recovery and we have been trading sideways since we went up once again. So firstly, I wanted to measure this major move towards the downside and how big it actually has been. So if you take a look at this, if you bought Litecoin during its all-time high or maybe a few days before or a few days after, you might have seen a 71 or almost 72% loss on your stocks, and that's for sure something very bad to look at. But I personally think that we have reached the bottom, especially because such a big correction most of the times leads to a possible bottom getting reached, and you can see that it almost is at the same level as it started before this uptrend went super parabolic towards the upside or even started getting created. So I personally think that if we go far further towards the downside, if we drop even further on the Litecoin chart, that would be quite unreasonable, especially because we already saw a 72% correction on the Litecoin chart, and Bitcoin is still holding quite strong at the levels where it's currently at. But of course, we would like to see Bitcoin break above the $42,000 level before we see a further price action of Litecoin surging towards the upside. But let's take a look at where we're currently standing. And I wanted to start by enabling the EMA ribbon. And if you take a look at the EMA ribbon, it is actually the third time that we are inside of the EMA ribbon. You saw that we already had several touch points in the past. These touch points got immediately rejected towards the downside several times, as you can see over here as well. And right now it's for the very first time that Litecoin is able to stay inside of the EMA ribbon, maybe even finding support on top of it. And currently it has been rejected once again. As you can see, we are currently trading underneath the EMA ribbon and finding it difficult to break once again above the EMA ribbon before heading even further. What we are seeing as well is that we are trading inside of a parallel channel, and I will draw that for you so you can take a look at how this channel actually looks like. If you ask me, I will be really precise. Let's take a look at this over here. And this is what I'm looking at right now. We're inside of this parallel channel, and this parallel channel is actually saying to us that we are inside of a accumulation phase. And this accumulation phase right over here is something quite healthy to do if we stay inside of this horizontal level of support and this horizontal level of resistance. The horizontal level of support at approximately $166 and the horizontal level of resistance at approximately $205. So if we stay in between these two levels inside of the parallel channel, I personally think that we could be seeing a huge move towards the upside or downside getting created, and that move would be looking something similar to this. And I will be measuring it actually from at the beginning of this trend. So when we saw it over here, and you can see this move, I will be placing it towards the downside, especially because Litecoin is not able to break above the EMA ribbon. I still personally think that a potential move towards the downside could be possible. Yes, we are trading sideways, and this horizontal level of support has been tested previously, not over here and over here, but it has been tested previously also on the chart before. So this is a major level of support and resistance, and I think that is something you have to take into consideration. So I will measure this possible move towards the downside if we break underneath this horizontal level of support, and this is a possible move of 21%. And what we would be seeing if this actually happens is a rejection once again of the EMA ribbon serving as overhead resistance also a rejection of the level of resistance where we're currently trading underneath at approximately $184, and breaking down below, breaking through this level of support and going all the way down. And I personally think for sure we will be over here supported by the previous drop towards the downside where we found support as well. Maybe if it breaks even further down, we will be finding support at approximately $123. I for sure think that it's not very likely to go even further down if we see a breakout towards the downside getting created. So this 22% move towards the downside could be also possible towards the upside if we see a breakout above firstly above the EMA ribbon, and later on after this horizontal level of resistance. If we break above it, find support on top of it, we could be seeing a move towards the upside of approximately 23%, and that move will be heading towards this level over here at $241. I personally think, especially because we saw this ascending resistance line with multiple touch points in the past, it will be quite difficult to break above it. And I personally think that especially after a breakout outside of a parallel channel, as we're seeing over here, those breakouts tend to be less big or less significant than a ascending, descending, or symmetrical triangle. So for sure, we might not have enough strength to break above this upward sloping resistance, getting rejected by it once we break towards the upside, and finding support on top of this level over here at $221. So that could be something very likely to happen if we see a move towards the upside getting created, especially because if I enable the EMA ribbon, if we break out above the EMA ribbon, go parabolically to the upside for 22%, and we break down below, we will not be only finding support on top of the $220 support level, but the EMA ribbon will also catch up and will be serving as support as well at that period of time. So that is something you would like to take a look at as well. If we break out towards the upside, the EMA ribbon will be switching over towards the longs once again, and we will see an upward momentum getting started. So why I think this possible move is also of major importance is something I wanted to show you, and that is actually I would like to enable the Fibonacci retracement level by selecting this swing high, so the all-time high of Litecoin for 2021 towards the low where we saw during the past week getting created, especially to see where we could possibly be heading towards. And as I said before, it is quite likely that we won't be able, if we break towards the upside, break above this level of upward sloping resistance. And as you see over here, we won't be only finding support on top of the $222 level, but if we break towards the downside, getting rejected by this upward sloping resistance, we will be finding support also on top, maybe underneath, but in between or above the 0.382 Fibonacci level, and that is as well the golden pocket entry. And once we see this happen, I for sure think that a huge move towards the upside will be inevitable after we break above once again this upward sloping resistance line. But for the current moment, I think this is something we have to take into consideration, that it might go either way, towards the upside or towards the downside, heading once again to the $1.22 level. So that will be a level you have to take a look as well at, and really you have to monitor closely what Litecoin is going to do right now. Before I will be heading further towards the Litecoin compared to Bitcoin chart, I wanted to show you this over here. If you're enjoying the content so far, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button underneath. And if you have any type of questions, do not forget to ask those in the comment section, and I will try my hardest to answer those later on. So what we are seeing over here is the Litecoin chart compared to the US dollar, and as I said before, we're going to the Litecoin compared to Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame, especially because I wanted to show you something very exciting, and that is that we are right now above the 100 and 200 day moving average compared to Bitcoin, and we are also finding resistance underneath the 50-day moving average. That is the thin green line where we're trading underneath at, and the yellow line is the 100 and the red line is the 200-day moving average. And right now we are still seeing that the 50-day moving average is actually serving as overhead resistance. But this happened in the past as well, and once Litecoin breaks above these levels of support and resistance, as you could see over here happening, you see a major move towards the upside getting created. And I for sure think that once we break above the 50-day moving average, it will serve for sure as a major level of support, especially because after that moment you will be finding support on top all three of these moving averages. So that is something very important to take a look at. And something else I wanted to show you is actually the MACD on the Bitcoin chart, because what you're seeing over here is this MACD that will be crossing over at approximately 1 or 2 days, or well, 1.5 days. And if we see this MACD crossover, we might create enough momentum towards the upside to break above this moving averages on the Litecoin compared to Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame, but also to have enough momentum getting started to break above the EMA ribbon on the US dollar chart on the 4-hourly time frame. So that is something you would like to take into consideration. And let's go once again back towards the US dollar chart. I will be disabling the moving averages and also the Fibonacci retracement. And what I wanted to actually tell you is, if we see this possible trading possibility on this chart, you do not want to miss out, because this is quite a nice pump that you will be seeing. As I said before, it's approximately 22%. And if we take a look, once we find the confirmation on top of the breakout of this horizontal level of resistance, we find support on top of this. I think this moment when we find support on top of this horizontal level of resistance is the perfect place to place your entry for a long position trade. And if you are interested in doing so, do not forget that down below in the description you will find several links where you can earn up to $2,000 and earn to $1,610 deposit bonus on Bybit, and also $2,000 on Femex, and even on KTO you're able to trade with 736 different types of cryptocurrency, and you will be supporting the channel by using the links down below. So thank you very much for watching once again the video of Litecoin on this Crypto Tutorial channel, and if you liked, do not forget to subscribe. So I wish you a pleasant day. Peace out.